Hola, ¿cómo están? Quiero hablar, explicar un poco más del circunloquio. So, circumlocute. This is a great skill to have, and we're going to be creating, I'm going to have you be creating a tool, a reference tool, for you to be able to practice and use circumlocution, which means the ability to talk around something. In Spanish, the class, I've told you guys often that I want you to be focusing on what you can say in Spanish, not what you want to say in English. This is one way to help you do this. So there might be something that you want to talk about, but you can't remember the exact word or you don't know the exact word. So instead of just shutting down, I want you to learn and practice how to talk about it instead of name it. This can be objects, this can be actions, locations, people. If you ever do the password game, this is what that's about. You're trying to get the other person to come to that same understanding, get the word for you, or at least understand what you're talking about. That's the ability to talk around something. So circumlocution is, what does that word mean? Well, as I was defining it for you, I was describing it for you. There might be an action that you know. So, for example, I'm not sure how I would describe this action, but it's when you have a group of people, like students at a school, and they play a sport together. What is that called? Oh, it's a team. So that can be something you can do. All right. So en español es un grupo de chicos, de muchachos, y juegan un deporte como, o juegan como el fútbol o el fútbol norteamericano, el básquetbol, y son estudiantes de una escuela. ¿Cómo se dice? Es un equipo. That would be an example of how to get the person to understand you're talking about a team. I actually do that one a lot with you guys because equipo is not a common word, yet it comes up a lot. So to help you, I want you to come up with a tool to start getting some words together to help describe something. So some things to look at are frases importantes. Parece que, it looks like, it seems like. Parece que un gato, pero es grande. So there would be your tamaño. It's es grande. Vive en África. ¿Qué es? Es un león. So it looks like a cat, it's big, and it lives in Africa. Hopefully you came up with the idea of a big cat, like a lion. Se usa para, it's used for. Es similar a o diferente que. No es. So another thing to think about is we don't always have to say what it is. We can also say what it's not. Okay? So some things to think about is ¿qué es? Categories. El clima, una persona, un deporte, una comida, una clase. These are all categories that you could add. I've added el clima, so it's a climate, it's a weather type. You can also have forma. If you're talking about an object, what shape is it? Es un círculo, es un rectángulo, es un triángulo. These are all possible ones. Obviously, there's more. Notice none of these are completed by me because there's so many. So this can be one of those where you're looking these up using an online dictionary, your own notes to add to. Tamaño is the size or the shape of something. You can use two. Grande, mediano, pequeño, flaco, gordo. Some ideas, okay? Colores. Colores are excellent. We have rojo, verde, gris here. Adding the colors in is excellent. The less English you have on here, the better. So if you can, notice that the square for grande is bigger than the one for mediano, which is in the middle, and pequeño is the smallest, to help you understand that one. Okay, so if you can come up with ideas and shapes and pictures to help with the vocabulary, that's better. Try and keep it all English. Some other possible topics would be uses. What's the uses of this? Where does something happen? Materials that it's made of. What parts does it have? These are all some other possible main topics that you could come up with to help you describe something. Okay, so with this assignment, as you're working on circumlocution and how to talk around something, the more you have of these topics, the better. The more simple vocabulary that can be used for multiple things, the better. So for this assignment, you are going to need to have at least 4 of these types. And it needs to have multiple options around it. Each one needs to have at least 6 items around it. Plus you need to have the important phrases. If you can think of any others, add those in as well. Okay, that is the assignment that will need to be submitted on the next page in Schoology. Let me know if you have any questions. Y hasta luego.